When we surfaced from the dive, we found 2 fishing boats trailing 60 miles of long lines. A line with 16,000 baited hooks that would stretch from Earth to outer space. The boats fled because longline fishing is illegal in the Galapagos, and we were left with the lines. I hopped in the water as soon as I could and brought my cameras and tried to film whatever I could find on the long lines. And we swam for probably 2 or 3 kilometers, pulling ourselves along the lines and unclipping every baited hook we could find. The first fish I found was a 7-foot-long sailfish, and it was dead. It suffocated because it wrapped itself up in the long line, so it couldn't keep swimming to keep breathing. Farther along the line, I found a dorado that was still alive. It was swimming in a circle, the largest it could, considering the long line attached to it. I slowly pulled myself close so I wouldn't scare it, and I cut it loose. Then I found the sharks. For 60 miles, sharks were dying on those lines. They struggle so much that they entangle themselves and suffocate. There were only a few left alive, and I cut them loose. In total, we found 160 sharks, 5 sailfish, 4 dorados, and a tuna. It felt like part of my family was dying. Something shifted that day, and I changed.
This is just a line, a long line with baited hooks on it, but many animals, most animals swimming around in the surface waters are interested in those baited hooks, so take the hooks and subsequently get caught, and they may or may not be what the fishermen are looking for, and things like leatherback turtles or some marine mammals can simply get entangled in that line of gear. There are more selective ways of fishing. There's a lot of waste that goes on out there. I think one of the big reasons it continues to go on is because we don't see it.
We know that predators are fundamental in controlling the structure and the functioning of ecosystems. So basically, if you cut off the head of the ecosystem, if you wish, the top species, the top carnivores that control a lot of the processes lower down in the food web, you're removing a really important controlling agent, and that could cause upheaval in the lower trophic levels like the plants and the zooplankton. The ocean is basically the life support system of the planet. To change that life support system in any major way is a risky thing. We know from the past that when oceans have changed, that life on Earth has changed.
I needed to know why people were killing sharks and what I could do to stop it. So I left my job as a photographer and set out to make a film about them. But they were gone. In places where I'd always found hundreds of sharks, I only found a few. Shark populations had been decimated all over the world, and the last sharks were being hunted down in the few remaining sanctuaries. Nobody noticed. Everyone wanted to save pandas, elephants, and bears. And the world was afraid of sharks.
Sharks rarely bite human beings, but never because they're hungry and say, oh, look, there's something juicy over there. They try to figure out what we are. They don't know what we are, so they explore us. On very rare occasions, they come that close that actually can just do an exploratory bite, and that's why the majority of all bites are very, very superficial. We hardly have really serious bites. So that tells us something. 60 to 100 bites every year out of these millions encounters that we have with these animals. So just based on that, sharks cannot be dangerous. People think, well, they're dumb, they're stupid. That's not true. Their intelligence is quite amazing. They have short-term memories, long-term memories. They can learn by observation. So nothing is stupid or primitive in these animals. So old ideas, well, they just follow a blood trail, you know, they just bite everything that is shiny. We'll pretty quick realize, hey, that is all wrong.
In just 1 year, crocodiles around the world wiped out as many people as sharks have killed over the past 100. The crocodile is protected.
Shark is very kind animals. That's mistake. Shark actually is not kind animals.
No?
You don't believe you go to see the shark whether it eat you or not. No, the shark is not.
Shark's not.
It's very, very fierce.
Yeah?
Very fierce. You see the teeth?
Yeah?
Oh,
That
but
is-
so
So I should not, like, it's not a good idea to go swimming with sharks? That's not a...
they bite you and then you tear away, you die. You will be immediately die, pain until die. Shark is very fierce animal.
They're the scourge of the ocean, and everyone should go and catch one. All the greenies can come around and say that these things, let them live, okay? We can live on land too, but we don't go out there and bite the bums off them, do we? They come in here and get us.
How bad is the shark as a predator? I mean, you make it sound as though it really is a direct threat to human beings who dare swim in the water.
Yeah, you try swimming with a shark like that in 8 feet of water and you'll find out, because we got no hope if they decide to eat us.
But don't you think that one effect of you going out and capturing sharks and talking this way is that you bring about an hysteria in people? They're going to panic.
No, I've saved a lot of lives, believe me. If it wasn't for me and what I've done the last 25 years, there'd be a lot more people killed.
The fact is, sharks do not eat people. If they did, I would have been eaten a long time ago. Most sharks have teeth which are ineffective cutting tools and can't effectively remove flesh from something larger than their mouths. 100 needles in your leg would have a tough time removing a chunk of flesh. Most sharks lack the equipment they'd need to go after large animals like us, and they know that. They've evolved to eat certain prey items, and most sharks are picky eaters. They won't bother wasting energy going after something they know they can't eat efficiently. When a shark mistake does happen, the person inevitably ends up back on shore. In most shark attacks, flesh is never removed. Even in the odd case where someone dies, it's usually because of blood loss, not because the shark ate the person. A 12-foot or even a 6-foot fish could do anything it wanted to a human. And they don't. It's a huge testament to shark sensory systems how few people are attacked each year. You wouldn't go for a run next to a pride of lions, but we do this with sharks all the time. There are millions of people entering the water every year in areas where sharks hunt, and very few people are bitten. If they wanted to eat us, they would.
The mythology about sharks has traditionally been they kind of the embodiment of evil, and their sharp teeth, and they kill people. But the fact is, people used to think of whales that way. Whales used to be dangerous leviathan. I mean, you just read Moby Dick. You know, Moby Dick was portrayed by Captain Ahab as being a monster of the deep, you know, a manhunter. But everything in the environment, everything that exists, eats something else. We tend to be afraid of spiders and snakes, but we love puppy dogs and seals. Once people see whales or sharks in a different light, they can change their mind. These are beautiful creatures, absolutely beautiful creatures that have every right in the world to live on this planet.